15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win it.
What's up, kinfolk? Welcome back to another episode of Bubba and the Old Man. I kind of did like a makeshift setup. My dad's at the man cave right now. He's laying down. He's not feeling too good today. But we got some good news recently. So that's going well. But if you haven't heard, TJ Finley, backup quarterback for Auburn this year, has been turning some heads at practice. He's obviously a much different quarterback from Bo Nix. Bo Nix is not 6'7" like him. TJ Finley's obviously got a rocket arm. He's much more of a pro style. But, you know, he's not a mobile quarterback much at all. Well, he's mobile, but not in the mobile sense of, like, Bo Nix. You know what I mean? And Brandon Council had a lot of good things to say about him. He said he was a shift of pace or whatever the wording he used was. And that's obviously good because going into the season, we were expecting Demetrius Davis was going to be the backup or Grant Loy, and those are obviously Demetrius has got a lot of talent, but he's obviously not ready to step into a game this year. He's a freshman. And Grant Loy, you know, he played at Bowling Green, but obviously that's not SEC level competition, and he was basically just an average quarterback out there. So obviously TJ Finley coming in, he was a 3-star recruit, but he probably should have been a 4-star. And he obviously transferred here this year, and LSU is biting him in the ass because now they got one good option at quarterback, which is Max Johnson, who stepped in last year after TJ did not start off well. Now, TJ Finley obviously had bright spots at LSU last year. He had one game where he had over 80% completion percentage, 265 yards, and 3 touchdowns, but he also had the horrible game against Auburn and horrible games against other SEC opponents, obviously, as it was an all-SEC season because of COVID. So obviously him turning heads at practice is great because that shows he's improved, and with Brian Harsin and Mike Bobo's extremely quarterback-friendly offense, that's great, and he's obviously much more fits. He fits much better. God, I can't get the words right. He fits much better in Brian Harsin's offense than Bo Nix does. Obviously, Brian Harsin's worked with mobile quarterbacks before, as he won 12 games with Grant Hedrick, who was obviously somewhat of a mobile quarterback. But his offense obviously looks more fluid, and it is much more set up for a quarterback who can move, but that's not his first asset. Like Bo Nix is obviously his main asset is his ability to extend plays and his ability to gain yards on the ground. Whereas TJ, he can move, but it's obviously not his top thing. Like, it's kind of like Ryan Tannehill. His athleticism is not the main reason he's a good quarterback. Dang, man. My lazy eye has been really bad lately. But TJ, he can extend plays, and he's pretty mobile in the pocket. But he's not going to have the play that Bo had against Texas A&M. So that's what differs between him and Bo. And obviously, if he does come into the game being a backup quarterback, we're going to basically completely change the offense because I don't think Brian Harsin is going to try and force Bo Nix to be a pocket passing quarterback like he likes. Because all good coaches, they don't just force a quarterback into their system, the quarterback becomes their system. Obviously, since this is going to be more of a pro style type offense, Bo's going to be getting more plays under center, but Brian's also going to let Bo be Bo. He's going to get him quarterback power plays or option plays and stuff like that to help Bo progress. And as we've seen with Bo over the years, or the 2 years he's been here, he plays better when you allow him to be him in the game. Allow him to get in his rhythm. You know, he can roll out and hit like a little drag route, or he can move, get a 20-yard run play. It just gets him in rhythm. And with this probably going to be a run-first offense, that's going to be great. But TJ, he can run the option. He's obviously not his main thing, as he looks like a giraffe when he tries to run. But he can obviously run off play action. He can hit open throws, which he kind of struggled with last year. But he can get up to the line, and as we know, Bo is not really good at this. Coming up to the line, making checks, pointing out things. I've never played quarterback, but all quarterback coaches I've heard talk about it. When you see a quarterback making reads at the line of scrimmage, changing things, calling out the Mike linebacker. Obviously, Gus ran more of a college offense, a typical college offense, where it was pretty much a pop gun offense. And now Brian Harsin bringing in more pro schemes and stuff like that. Having a backup quarterback who can run an offense like that at LSU is obviously much more of a typical offense. God, I'm sorry. I look like E.T. But LSU's offense is much more pro style. Which pro style, it's a term that a lot of people use. You know what I mean? Stuff that's not just screens, slants, and drag routes. And obviously coming into this year with our offense, we're obviously going to integrate tight ends. Javaris Johnson has stepped up, which I hope we can make a video about that later on when my dad's feeling better. But Javaris Johnson stepped up. It's looking like he's going to get the slot receiver role. Kobe seems to be sliding down. Demetrius Robinson, he's stepping up. He looks like he's going to be our number 2 receiver. He's going to be our Z receiver, which is going to be great. And our offensive line with Will Friend, I expect it to be great this year, or even if it's not great, just good this year, which would be great for TJ if he has to come and do a game. But I just want to get on here and talk about how TJ has been improving. It's looking like he can be a competent backup and take the reins next year if Bo leaves. And if Demetrius Davis is not ready, he can start next year. But if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and as always, War Eagle. Selena, go!
Oh.
Stop!
Sorry.